business owners, what if you can go from zero idea to a finished video like this in under 2 hours? Most business owners know they gotta be on YouTube, but they put it off because they simply don't have the time. Most people tend to outsource AI to do everything. But the problem with that is you're gonna end up with a video that nobody watches and doesn't get you clients. But I figured out a Claude co-work workflow that can help you whip out client attracting videos under 2 hours. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the entire process live, and I'm gonna give you a free downloadable resource that contains the prompts and the skills for free. And stick around to step number 3 because that's the new Claude AI feature that will help make your videos a lot more interesting so your retention graph stays flat. So the first hurdle that most business owners face is that they don't know what video ideas to make. And even though there's a lot of AI tools like vidIQ, Velio, 1 of 10, I recommend you don't find these outlier video ideas manually, even with these tools, because if you're like me, I tend to overthink and end up giving up on YouTube. So what I'm going to be sharing with you is a prompt to use that will help initiate the search. And Claude is going to be connected to 2 tools to make this happen. The first one is vidIQ and the second one is YouTube Ads Studio, which is available for free. And together, what vidIQ is doing is trying to figure out what is in demand currently within your niche, and what YouTube Studio is doing is helping to verify this idea against your existing audience data. So Claude is going to give you about 10 video ideas from the research, and you're going to pick one that you like. So the reason why we do this, it's really important for us to deliver our message in a format that's already winning on YouTube and have a high chance that our existing audience actually want to respond to. So you would need a paying subscription to vidIQ. Then you need to connect vidIQ to Claude with a connector. And the way you do that is just typing vidIQ MCP. So just follow the instructions here and connect it to your Claude. Then once you download the free resource that I give down below, this free resource also gives you the 2 skills needed to make this whole happen. Skill number 1 is the Stories to Clients outline builder, which is going to help you script out the video. Skill number 2, turn it into a presentation deck so your videos are less boring. So you're going to hover over this and click on the dots here and click on download. Then you're going to go to Claude, you're going to hit customize, and you're going to go to skills, create skills, upload the skill. So then you upload the 2 skill that you just downloaded. Step 1 over here, find the topic that brings in clients. So there's this long prompt and you're going to copy this. Go to Claude co-work and paste the prompt in. Under my criteria, there's going to be brackets. So you got to give context about your business to Claude so it can find relevant video ideas that you should be doing within your niche. So review this before you're hitting send. If everything is okay, just hit enter. Here it stopped us midway and asked, it can't access YouTube Ads Studio because there's no MCP connection between YouTube and Claude. So a workaround for this is use Chrome to access it on my browser and hit enter. And it's going to ask you a bunch of these requests, just allow everything. So now the cool thing about Claude co-work is that it can actually use your computer. See, let me open up YouTube Studio in Chrome first. And this is Claude accessing my Chrome browser to access my YouTube Studio to analyze all the stuff, which is nuts. So what it's doing now is accessing vidIQ and looking for keywords of what my audience is potentially searching for. So it's using both vidIQ and my channel analytics. Okay, it is done. So it gave an analysis here. So here's the 8 picks. How to get clients from YouTube without going viral. And it gives you the volume and then the audience fit as well. So this is something that vidIQ may not have. It has context of your YouTube Studio, but it doesn't have context of your business that you're trying to run. So take a look at all of these. And the cool thing is that it also gave what I dropped and why. So it tell me, hey, stop making a certain type of videos because you're pulling in the wrong crowd. So thank you for that, which is very interesting because if it didn't tell me that, I would probably target this keyword. And then it gave me a suggestion. Hey, out of all this, I suggest you do this. So if you don't like the suggestion by AI here, take a look back at all the options and pick the one that you actually like. Now, if you still don't like any of these suggestions, just talk to AI saying, I don't like any of these, but the other day I found this particular video that I think I can make a version of my own. What do you think? And give them the link. Okay, so now we have a winning video title idea. The next thing we want to do is we want to script or outline this video. But the last thing we want to do is be this generic copycat of the original outlier, because being a copycat won't get you views nor clients. So this brings us to the next part, which is to use AI as a co-pilot, but not the driver when it comes to scripting our videos. So Claude will help us with the hook, the 3 points of the body, and the call to action. So AI will write the bullet points for us to save us time, but don't use that to record. You're going to rewrite these bullet points the way you would say it, because it's very hard to riff from a script that you didn't write yourself. So by having a bullet point script, you tend to sound a lot more natural, like the expert that you are. You can tell the same message, but wrapped in your unique story, so your video is new. You're not a copycat. All right, to get Claude to start outlining our script, we're gonna go back to the template that you've downloaded here. We're gonna go to step number 2. Plan a video only you could make. We're gonna copy this. We're gonna go back to Claude. We're gonna paste it here. So now in the prompt, it says, use the stories to clients outline, build a skill, which is the thing that we just uploaded on the video idea below. So here, the video title or the idea that we have. So let's say I picked something that I like from the list above here, how to get clients without going viral. So I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it here. So down here is my rough notes. Paste your brain dump, tips, opinions, stories, client results in any order. So whatever you feel that you wanna tell about this particular topic, just brain dump it here. So instead of typing, press and hold to record. So it's a little easier to speak this out rather than typing. So let's try that right now. All right, there you go. See, that would have taken me ages to write it out. And then the AI will interview for more questions before you start writing. So I'm gonna hit send. And you can see that it's starting to push back on what I try to say, because we don't want to be telling the exact same thing as everybody else. That's a copycat, but a thought leader would have something unique to say. And that's what this interview is trying to do. So just answer the questions here to help find your unique angle. All right, so AI asked me approximately 3 questions and I just voice note the whole thing so I don't have to type it in. And after 3 questions, it gave me this analysis. That's the whole video idea here. And here's the angle that makes this uniquely yours. And it gave me this suggestion and I'm like, that's bang on. And it will ask me, does this land as a spine for the whole video or do you want to tweak something? Right now, I'm pretty happy with this. He's gonna say, yes, I'm happy, let's go. All right, it gave me the script outline here. And for most of you, this is good enough for you to start recording your videos. But if you're like me, I already have a scripting framework that I like to use. So I'm just gonna tell Claude to put this into my existing framework and then put it into my content calendar planner. I'm gonna show you how to do that. So this is my scripting framework that I always use. I like how visually it looks. And I'm just gonna say, I love it, but can you use my format? So give the format and then create a card in my Notion content calendar. So all my script is in one place. Click enter. All right, so it put the script that it just made for me into Notion because that's where I store my script. For you, it could be Google Docs. It doesn't really matter. So this is what it looks like following my format, which is amazing. Now, if you want my template, click on this video right here. Okay, what Claude did is identified a video worth doing, and then it outlines the script. So this video is unique to us. The story is good. The story is unique, but AI wrote it for us. So it may not sound like you. So what we're trying to do now is just manually change the bullet points that AI did and write it how you would say it. So later on, when you're trying to record this video, you can riff easily because you wrote it. So once you have this whole script finalized, I'm going to tell you what to do next. So you just whipped out a script within a couple of minutes instead of hours. But before you record this video, an educational video like this would be incredibly boring if it's just 10 minutes footage of you yapping on camera. People would drop off and your retention graph would tank. So what we're going to do to fix this is usually add some sort of B-roll, something to show on the screen while you're telling the story to help get your story across visually. So traditionally, you got to do this manually. You got to go find the footage, what is relevant here, put it there, go find it. And that's a giant pain in the butt. We're not going to do that. We're going to use Claude's new AI feature called Claude Design. It's going to turn whatever you say in the script into a supporting on-screen text and animation. So the video looks really high quality and keep the retention as flat as possible without you hiring an expensive editor if you're not ready for that. So in order for Claude Design to work, we need to turn our finalized script here into an MD file that Claude Design would understand. So if we go back to Claude, so under Claude, it says that if you have the finalized version, let me know because I'm going to turn it into the slide deck MD. So what we're going to do now is get the finalized script. I'm just going to copy it here and I'm saying this is the finalized script and paste the link. I want an MD file made out of this so I can upload it to Claude Design and hit enter. All right, so this is it. So it read my finalized script and then it turned it into an MD file, which is right here. So the Claude Design can understand, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on show folder. So that's the file right there. And I'm just gonna put this somewhere on my computer so I can upload it to Claude Design later. Okay, now open up the left sidebar here. So we're not using any of this. We're gonna go down and then there's a thing called design. So we're gonna click on that. So this is the part where you can create anything you want, prototype, slides, document, wireframe, animation. It's absolutely nuts. We're going to create slides today, but before that, we're going to go to design systems and we got to tell Claude Design to design stuff based on our brand kit, if you have one. If you don't have a brand kit, like your font, your color palette, you can skip this. Claude will design things by default. The next thing we want to do is we want to turn the script into a animation slide. So we need a prompt to do that, right? So we're going to go back to our template that you downloaded and we're going to scroll down. Now step number 3, build visuals and this is the prompt. I'm going to click on copy. I'm going to go back to Claude Design. I'm going to paste it here, the prompt, and I'm going to upload the MD file that was in my desktop, and there it is. Click on open and just click send. So this is going to take a while for it to design everything. All right, so here's the example of the slide deck that was made from our finalized script. As you can see, there's a left and right here, and if you click on the right button on your keyboard, you can see some animation, and this is what you want while you're telling the story. Each section is really good. So the reason there's two sections here is that you can place your video, your talking head video, on the right side here. So now you're ready to record, and I'm using Descript AI because it just makes the whole thing easier. So what I'm going to do is open up Descript, and then it's going to record myself over here. That's the A cam, and it's also going to record the screen together. So later on editing, I can just place my recording here on the right side of this footage. You got a recorded video within 2 hours that otherwise would take you days, weeks, maybe months to produce one video because you're just too busy. But this whole thing only works if you make a video that your audience is actively searching for, and you must have something very unique to say in that video. But what if you don't know how to do that? Well, lucky for you, I'll teach you how to find a gap in your niche that only you can fill in this next video right here.